right, so welcome back, guys, to the channel. It is me, 80 Summer 44, and today, guys, Barcelona won back-to-back Spanish Super Cups. We beaten Real Madrid again, and you know, it was a great game. So 10 out of 10, man. How are you feeling, man? Um, actually, let me give my thoughts. Actually, yeah, let's hear it for 10 out of 10.
First of all, I don't really care who won. Let's go. Let's go. I didn't really care who won or lost. Um, I mean, overall, probably there's a reason why La Liga is better than the Premier League. And there you go. There's the obvious game right there. And yeah, really good game. Um, Seems like a lot to talk about. 5 goals. When you talk about top of the table clash, you had like kind of like Arsenal Liverpool. Come on, come on. You think people are actually hyped up for that? This is football, and overall, I didn't really care who won or lost. Overall, for me at least. So that's why I'm wearing Real Madrid Barca. So I don't really care who won.
Man, if you imagine wearing that in the streets, I wonder how people would react to it.
I think because I'm not in Madrid or from Barcelona. I think they don't really. It depends.
Yeah.
It depends.
Now, if you were now if you're in Barca Madrid, you would get attacked.
Yeah, probably from the ultras, but yeah.
Yeah. So let's start. So let me actually I want to let's start talk about the Spanish Super Cup as well. This format. So how do you feel about this new format? Because I'll be honest with you, I don't like this new format. I think it's stupid. It should be just be the league winner versus league winner versus cup winner.
I honestly don't really mind. Just make more money. You might as well just as in 5 years or something. We're going to have instead of a semifinal, we'll have a quarterfinal. 8 teams. Maybe you bring in like one or two more teams that finish like in the European places. To be honest, why not? Just do a quarterfinal, semis, and a final. And while you're at it, do a third place playoff for anyone that cares about those sort of games. So I don't really care about the format. I mean, they will never ever design it to have Barca Real Madrid to be played before a final. There's a reason why they were played. They want them to play in the final, which obviously ultimately happened. So look, I don't really mind the format. You might as well make a quarterfinal. Add 4 more teams, and or how about add 2 more teams and have like a bye into the semifinal, something like that. Give Real Madrid Barca the bye to the semifinal, but like those sort of things. Like why not? Like you might as well make more money. I would say so. For me, I don't really care about the format until Deportivo are in it in 2-3 years. This year, if we win if we beat Atleti on Tuesday.
But Senda, like let's be real. Like this format, if you're gonna do this format, we're gonna get Barca Real Madrid every single time as a final.
More or less. I mean, there was a case maybe Atleti could have, but we're always going to get El Clasico. What that's happened 3-4 times in a row now, so you might as well.
Yeah.
It's basically becoming like Celtic v Rangers. It happens like 12 times a season. We're probably going to get this as the Copa del Rey final, unless Racing Club beat you guys on Thursday or Albacete. But yeah, you know what? I don't really care about the format. You might as well call this the NFL playoffs. Like, just you might as well do a wild card quarterfinal game and then put Real Madrid Barca as like the semifinal, like teams that have a bye to that round. I'm pretty sure we'll have that in the future. You might as well, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So let's start. Let's start because obviously this will be a short stream, guys. This is a Super Cup, so we're gonna be here for like around 30 minutes. So Trinidad, let's start with the losing team first. Normally I start with the winning team, but let's start about Real Madrid first. Do you think it was a mistake not to start Mbappe in this game?
No, no, I don't think. Like you kind of saw when he was on the pitch, he wasn't really fully fit. I mean, he did have like one or two, like he got the ball off Yamal and then eventually got the red card by the end of the game. So I don't think it's a mistake or whatever not starting him because, well, one, I think Gonzalo Garcia kind of deserve a start. Obviously he didn't do well against Atleti, but score a hat trick. The other day, and it didn't really look like Mbappe was like 100% fit. It was a risk that Alonso took, and yeah, it didn't pay off in the end. But I don't think it's a mistake.
Mm. Yeah, and the thing is, like, if this is Real Madrid, you shouldn't be relying on one player to just like like one player to start. Like, I mean, so. And for Real Madrid, as I said, I feel like the bigger issue today wasn't even the offense; it was more the defense let them down with stupid mistakes there.
I would probably say more of the midfield. I would say because that first half, until Rafinha scored and all that, Real Madrid didn't really have any sort of control of the ball. Yeah, they can pass it
Yeah,
back,
true.
around the defense, it's fine. But once they go forward or whatever, there's no link between the defense and the attack for Real Madrid. So that midfield, up until Rafinha scored the first goal, it was just Barcelona 1000% control. The midfield, it was at their tempo, and then obviously got the goal eventually. So I think Real Madrid, that first 35 minutes until Rafinha scored, they were just outclassed in the midfield. And then obviously, you saw, eventually, it seems like chaotic football actually works out in the end, at least in that first half for Real Madrid.
Yeah, I mean, actually, to be fair, you're kind of right. That I think they weren't able to control the midfield. Barca was able to bypass them with ease, and the fact we had like 70% possession is crazy in the
Yeah,
first
and
half.
not only have that possession, but also had much better chances. Even though there were a couple times before Rafinha scored, Real Madrid could have been 1-0 up or 2-0 up. You
Yeah,
never know.
yeah. So, yeah, I just think for Real Madrid, is that, and then obviously, um, the defense of Real Madrid, that defense. Oh my jeez.
I think Carreras, I think he was alright, but Dean Howson seems like Bournemouth got a lot of money, good money for him. I think Carreras, obviously he had that chance near the end. If he was a center forward, maybe he scores. But I don't blame Carreras for this game. But I would say Howson was cooked in this game. I would say,
Yeah, Austin was bad.
yeah,
Yeah. And then obviously, Asensio at right back. Yeah, I think Reyes was the only good player in the back line, honestly.
in the back line. Yeah, I think Courtois actually had a decent game as well for his own standards. I think obviously the winning goal, he can't do anything about it. Um, and then what was it? The two goals, maybe he could have done better, but they were both really good finishes as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Real Madrid midfield, man. That midfield, like Camavinga, Bellingham, Valverde, Rodrigo. I think the attack was pretty decent, to be honest.
Yeah, and as I said, they should have been 1-0 up as well. You know.
Yeah. So, Tenedai, I mean, let's say you're the Spanish national team coach. Which Real Madrid players are you calling up?
Well, obviously some of them aren't even eligible to play. So obviously we can't get the goalkeeper. Back line, the only ones. Well, actually, there's three of them. Uh, obviously Howson's been like very hit and miss. I would say. Asensio, I wouldn't. Carreras, I would actually would give him a chance. Midfield, well, none of them because they can't be eligible. Vinny, he's not eligible. Gonzalo Garcia, I think he's still developing. He didn't have a bad game, I would say. Obviously, he had that chance to maybe make it 1-0 before Barcelona scored eventually. Well, he's currently with the U21, Gonzalo. So hopefully he develops more over the course of this season and next. I wouldn't say he's like should be starting, but probably maybe at the upcoming Euros, I would say have to see how his progress is. would I call him up for the World Cup? Maybe as like a third choice, behind Morata and all that, and Oyafabal possibly. And obviously he's played in America for that Club World Cup. So I would say, as a third choice striker for Spain, I would say Garcia, yeah, Gonzalo.
Oh, all right. Then for the Barca players, I'm pretty sure if you're gonna pick pretty much everyone.
If I was Luis De La Fuente, I still don't know why Joan Garcia is not getting called up. I know it's Unai Simon, David Raya, and Alex Romero, but
Juan
Joan
Garcia should be
Garcia,
first choice. He should be first
or
choice, bro.
or at least be competing for it, But
Wait, 10. I want to ask you this question. Would you start? Would you like? Let's say you're the Spanish coach. Would you start Juan Garcia in goal? I think he should start. I'm not even being biased. I think he's better than Raya.
I well, actually, the starter is Unai. Um,
Oh yeah, Raya. Sorry, Unai. I think he's better than Unai Simon too.
Potentially, I think obviously the thing that helps Unai Simon's case is, well, he was pretty decent for Spain at the Euros and won it. So I think he does have that sort of edge over Joan Garcia. Um, but yeah, at least for Spanish goalkeepers, to have Unai, Simon, David Raya, Alex Romero, Joan Garcia, like the fact that only three of those four could get called up for that World
One of
Cup
those
is
gonna miss out.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it seems like at the moment it might be, unfortunately, Joan Garcia, unless there's like an injury or something to the other three.
So
But
you don't think it's you don't the only way you think Juan Garcia makes the Spanish national team is that one of the three gets injured.
or something like that, yeah, because that's what De La Fuente's been saying. But obviously, would I put him as number one? Ooh, I feel like I still have to trust Unai Simon. I still have to, but I'll put it. But I would say, who would I drop? I would drop Alex Romero because he's not really had the best of seasons for Sociedad. But yeah, it seems like there has to be an injury or something, which obviously I don't want for any goalkeeper or any player. But it seems like that's how Jean Garcia is somehow going to find a way.
Wait, who's second choice for Spain after Unai Simon? Out of
David
curiosity,
Raya.
Raya. Okay, and third is
So
Ramiro.
yeah,
So okay, so who would you start? Like if you were the coach, would you? Who do you prefer, Raya or Garcia as second choice?
Garcia. I would. I would, but I would still start Unai Simon.
Okay, yeah. Then obviously you would obviously bring Balde. I'm pretty sure.
To be honest, Balde wasn't that good this game, but yeah, obviously, it almost seems like Balde will only be second choice behind Cucurella. Eric
Yeah,
Garcia, I would. He did have a good game actually, Eric Garcia, but
yeah. Eric Garcia is good, honestly.
yeah, Kubosi, I still think needs a bit of time to develop. That's why he wasn't called up at the Euros a year and a half ago. He wasn't called up. Obviously, Pedri and Yamal, obviously, always there. For me, Lopez, I think, should also be called up. Whether he should be starting, it depends. And obviously, a few players off the bench as well, like
Yeah,
Daniel Olmo and all that.
yeah. I mean, so I mean, it's obviously it's kind of hard to take a lot of takeaways from this game because it is a Super Cup, but this is still a rivalry at the end of the day. It doesn't matter what the occasion, the tournament is. Like when Barca and Real Madrid always play against each other, they always gave it their all. It doesn't matter what competition we're in. It doesn't matter if it's a friendly. It doesn't matter if it's preseason. It doesn't matter if it's a Super Cup. And as I told you guys, I said this before, guys, the winner of the Spanish Super Cup, more often than not, in the recent years, have gone on to win the league. So,
I
do
mean,
you think
right
that
now,
will happen again?
I mean, at the moment, seems like it. 4 points, and obviously, there's still half the season to go. So we'll see. I mean, things can change. We'll
Oh yeah,
see
yeah, true.
how the Champions League phase finishes. Whether both or one of them only makes the top eight. So it's still lots of things. But if history repeats itself, then looks good for Barca.
Yeah. And I think it's the first time we've had a back to back win in the Super Cup in quite some time. We haven't had a back to back in quite some time, I think.
Since Pep or Lep 2011 with their
What?
three.
That's the last time?
Yeah,
Wow.
2011 with Pep.
Okay, let me actually double check this.
It's now been like what 15 years.
Wow.
Obviously, it's usually been like Real Madrid or Barca most times
Yeah,
that
it's been
win the cup, but it's never
yeah,
back to back until now.
yeah, yeah. Let's go
2011.
actually go check this. Sorry, this is the wrong tab. Wait, what? Share screen. Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have a lot of people here, so. But yeah, I mean, look at this right here. So
So from 2011, or you can start like 2009, 10, 11 Barca, 12 Madrid, 13 Barca, 14 Athletic, 15 Athletic, 16 Barca, 17 Real, 18 Barca, no 20, no 19, 20 Real Madrid, 21 Athletic, 22 Madrid, 23 Barca, 24 Madrid, 25 and 26 Barca. So
yeah, you're
yeah,
right. The last time was 2011.
yeah, with the LEP team.
Yeah, so Hansi Flick might continues his final record. He's never lost a final, guys, in his managerial career, and that still continues. That streak continues. I think it's 8 finals. I think he's managed. He's not lost none. So that's a very impressive record. Not even Pep Guardiola has that record. Not even Sir Alex Ferguson has that.
Yeah, I mean we'll see. Obviously, then that should hopefully bode well if you end up making the final of if you go to Budapest.
Yeah, that's true. The
And
Champions
maybe
League final.
Zlatan Tucha as well.
Yeah, but yeah, for so let's talk about both teams real quick. So for Real Madrid, do you think this trophy loss is gonna hurt their season, or you still think the season's still salvageable?
I mean, obviously the season's still salvageable, but you know, 1000% the Spanish press here will be like Alonso out and all that sort of stuff. Which, I mean, to be fair, in the footballing sense, I think Alonso hasn't really done that well. But I've said this, and I'll keep it until what do you call this? If by the end of this month, January, if Real Madrid are still maybe around under like 4 points less or so within touching distance of Barca in the title race, get in the top 8 of the Champions League, then I would be like give him a bit more time because he's at least in somewhat the minimum. But I think obviously this loss isn't good because they lost, but we'll see how they go in their upcoming games. And obviously, you know what, 10 days from now they're back in the Champions League. I believe it's against either Monaco or Jose. So you know
Yeah,
they have
I
to.
think Jose's the final match day. I think Jose's the final
Oh,
match
so
day.
Monaco it is then. So
Yeah,
you know some games and Mbappe if he is fit by then, like fully fit against his old
he
club.
should be. He should be. He should be. But it just like the problem with Real Madrid this season, at least from what I've seen, is that defensively they're just like train wreck. I think defensively they're just a calamitous over the back. I think Rudiger is finished. I think Alaba is injury prone. Hoyson is hit or miss, as you said, and Asensio isn't that great. So
Yeah, it's
you
only
know,
really Carreras.
yeah, it's even got a stage where you have to play Chouameni as CDM at center back. That's how you know it's bad in depth. So Real Madrid needs to improve that depth. And then the Vinny
Yeah.
man, Vinicius Junior man, Real Madrid fans, you guys like to turn on this guy so much. This guy's done so much for your club in the last couple of years, and you guys are treating him as if he's done nothing.
To be honest, I think from Real Madrid, I think obviously if Real Madrid ended up winning, I think he would have won man of the match. Actually, Vinny,
Yeah,
I thought he was really that solo goal. I think was really good. The one
yeah. Even
speak.
as a rival fan, yeah, even as a rival fan, I know as a rival fan, I'm not supposed to say the stuff, but I'm going to say it anyway. Vinny's a good player. I actually rate Vinicius highly. I know a lot of Barca fans don't like to rate him highly because of his antics and all that stuff. And yeah, to be fair, his antics are a bit kind of much at times, but you know, I mean, I
Today,
don't really
today he showed up. First time in what 16 games he scored for Real Madrid. So finally he scored. You know, ultimately it wasn't enough to win.
Yeah, so I mean, because you know what? Because I've still stated this. I'm going to say this again. Mbappe or Vinny, I just feel like one of them. I just feel like both cannot work together. They're both not compatible together, and I think one of them's going to leave.
Well, it's probably going to be. We'll see. I would assume it'll be Vinny, but for me, if Mbappe goes to Newcastle, woohoo! Obviously, I would think Mbappe obviously came on. Obviously, had that. At least there was one or two. Like the major contribution Mbappe had was get the ball off Yamal near the end of the game, and then later on the young red card immediately
Yeah, that's
after.
true.
So, I would say Mbappe, even like what 70%, it looked like he was 70% fit. That's why I don't say it's a mistake. He didn't start. Um,
Yeah,
and I think at that time of the game when he came on, it was 2-2. I might be wrong though, whether he came on at 2-2 or 3-2. But
let me
I think,
check. It was 3. It was 3-2 actually. He just came
oh,
on after Barca scored the third.
then yeah, I think overall, you know, it was he just didn't really look fit. I'll be honest, and we'll see in midweek when they play Albacete in the cup. I don't expect him to. I don't expect Mbappe to start that game against Albacete. I know it will be a tough game, but Albacete are kind of near the relegation zone. I'll be honest, you know. But I will say this for Barcelona: be careful of Racing Santander. I know they just lost to bottom of the league Zaragoza, but Santander love to score and concede. That can end 6-7.
Yeah, I know.
Basically,
Yeah, and our team is very like yeah,
because
but yeah, I mean for
I'll be honest. I think Real Madrid probably should have taken the lead in this game. There were two times Vinny and then Gonzalo should have scored. So
yeah.
you know,
Yeah, I just think for Real Madrid, like I said, I just feel like for me, there's an ego problem with this team. There's too many superstars in this team. Some players have to leave, and I think for Real Madrid, they have to figure out should stay and who should leave because, if you have so many superstars, it's not going to work. It's going to be like the PSG team or the Galacticos team in the past. So,
yeah,
and I'm even being objective, guys. I'm not even saying this because I'm a Real Madrid. Obviously, I'm a hating Real Madrid, but I'm being objective. Like I do feel like if Real Madrid wants to succeed, they need to sell some of the superstars in this team.
maybe. And obviously, we'll see who they get. Well, in
Yeah,
this transfer window, because it is open, so we'll see. And obviously, we'll see by the end of the season what trophies they win if they win any. Because if they go
yeah.
back to back, as it would be, if they don't win, it'll go back to back.
Ooh, Xabi getting sacked. I'm telling you this right now, he'll get
I would
sacked.
say then yeah, I would sack him because I think if by the end of the season no trophies again, and if let's say Barca win the Champions League or something, then that's you know sackable. I would say,
Yeah,
but for
for
now,
Real Madrid.
don't sack him. For now, we'll see by the end of this month.
Yeah. As for Barcelona, I'm very happy with the win, of course. I was kind of skeptical coming into this game because, teams had to do back to back and everything, but Barca showed up, Rafinha showed up, and yeah, Barca looking great. Rafinha is just that guy, and bro, he is Barca's best. He's Barca's best forward for sure. Like that's not even up for debate. People like to say Yamal, everything, but no, I think Rafinha is better than Yamal.
Yeah, I mean we'll see also throughout the rest of the season, obviously. Now that he's kind of getting back to form as well, because he didn't really start this season as good, but maybe it seems like he's back on it.
Yeah. Do you think Rafinha is underappreciated? Because I feel like he is underappreciated.
Yeah, I think obviously more of the spotlight is on Yamal and all that, and even with the Brazil national team, it's more so focused on either if it's Neymar or Vini, but it's never really Rafinha. Um, So maybe 2026 if Barca does well and Brazil does well at the World Cup, maybe people will finally talk about Rafinha. Um,
Rafinha also shows up for the national team. Vinny hasn't really showed up for the national team that much. Let's be real.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean,
So
we'll see in a few months.
yeah, and yeah, for I still maintain this, and I still am firm with this. Barca's best player is Pedri. I love Rafinha. Rafinha is very good, but I think Pedri's very important to this team. Without Pedri, this team's midfield is just not there. This team's it just connects the midfield so well. So for me, while he may not be as flashy player stats wise, I think he's so important to his team. So I'm intended. Do you agree with me on this? I'm even like I think Pedri's Barca's most important player.
Yeah, in terms of the midfield, yeah, obviously, uh, in that first half, until obviously Rafinha scored, probably probably joint man of the match or something like that. I would say. But then obviously, sometimes, mm, I'll be honest. I think Pedri just, you know, has a bit of calmness in the team. And I think he probably should be making more sort of forward passes, but he does control the tempo of the game.
Yeah, that's for sure. Obviously, as a Spaniard, you're probably disappointed that Pedri hasn't really shown the same level for Spain as for Barcelona, right?
Well, to be fair, at least like what do you call this? Well, at the Euros he was injured from the quarterfinal onwards,
Yeah,
and then obviously the two other tournaments, his first European Championship won Best Young Player, so that's something. And he was what, like 16, 17, 18 at that time.
yeah, he was good the
Um,
first year. To be fair,
I think he was what? I think he was 19, 18 or 19 at
yeah,
that first Euros. World Cup, obviously apart from the Costa Rica game, not really shown up, but most of the Spain team didn't that time. And that was Luis Enrique's last tournament, thank God. And then, the last Euros and ultimately won it. So we'll see how he does at the World Cup if he does get called up, doesn't get injured or whatever. Does he start for the national team? I'll be honest, yes. I think the midfield, in my opinion, should be if Rodri is fit, Rodri, Pedri, Fabian. But obviously, there's always going to be Fermin, there's going to be Danny Olmo, there's going to be Zubidoo. Where are you? You know, maybe Miko Marino. And it depends on what position he plays and all that. So yeah, we'll see how Pedri does for the national team in a few months.
yeah, yeah. For Barcelona, for Pedri, as I said, it's important. Then obviously Lewandowski got the goal there, and there's been a lot of talk with Lewandowski this season. I don't know if you heard this said. I even feel bad saying this. This feels so messed up. Did you hear that Barca didn't want him to score for his contract clause thing?
Something like that. Yeah, I saw. But well, he scored, and technically it helped Barca win today's game and all that.
Yeah, and the Fermin Lopez, and yeah. So I mean, I guess to round off here for Barca, do you still think because I still have my reservations to Barca this season because I just feel like Barca. I think that team has a lot of potential, but it's just the defense that worries me with this team so much. We just don't have enough defensive depth on this team, and that's why I don't think we're going to win the Champions League.
And that's why I actually agree. I think, well, obviously beating Real Madrid is good, but there's been games for Barca. Um, the most obvious one, obviously, the manager is no longer there, but Chelsea 3-0. That was already an example of teams can take advantage. Obviously, Real Madrid are a very good team, but not it won't happen every single time that Barca uh, wins the game just by how they play their football. Because Real Madrid, as I said, should have maybe have been 1-0 up in this game. So we'll see how things go. You do need a bit of luck, and I know it still sound crazy. I might as well still stick with my pick to win the Champions League, being these guys, um, because even though they were not the best Real Madrid, but they almost snatched a draw. Maybe we go penalties could have taken the lead in this game. So today more we could say the football of Barcelona did overpower Real Madrid, but Real Madrid still has that just that moment of magic you saw with Vinny's solo goal and all that. And if Carreras, you know, or even who made, I think it was David Alaba with the header from the corner near the end.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
both, if
yeah.
both, I would say if both or at least one of them were not straight at Joan Garcia, it goes to penalties probably, like the penalty shootout, and we'll see from there. So it could have Barca could have easily not won this. So it seems like the grass is greener in Barcelona for tonight.
Yeah, it just feels like Rafinha has to do so much for this team in big games because Yamal has not really been delivering so far. Lewandowski's been getting up there in age. He's not been starting as much, and I mean, I like Fermin Lopez, but he's just not really a consistent goal scorer like that. He can't do it every single game. And besides Rafinha, there's not really no other consistent goal scorers in his team.
Yeah, and even Rafinha's winning goal took a deflection. Courtois doesn't go down like that if there wasn't a deflection. I'll be honest, but the what you call it, the added time of the first half, probably the best added time in a long time. We had like a what
Yeah.
5 minute period of 3 goals. Was great to see.
Yeah. Anyways, let's wrap up the stream, guys. Let's go read some of the final comments. So nice of Bellingham to ghost. Yeah, but yeah, he was not good this game. I think it was nice for Barca to let Raul hoist the trophy since being throwing a lot. I'm still standing with this, guys. I still think Raul should leave this club. I still don't think Raul should start this club. And I mean, yeah, it was kind of nice for him to give the trophy, I guess. But come on, like I still feel like this guy's error prone so much, especially big games. Like I think he needs to go. Am I being harsh?
No, no. I mean, obviously, we'll see eventually throughout the season, because not everyone's going to be super fit and all, and you still need to rotate the team. You have the Champions League. And if you don't make top eight, that's an extra 2 games and all that sort of stuff. So, you know, players like Araujo either have to step up or you have to sell and buy immediately. Otherwise, that's why even though with this Super Cup win, you know, still have to go for the league because you're only 4 points still ahead of Real Madrid. If you lose the next one and they win the next one, it's 1 point, and doesn't really matter. Then it's a title race again, even though it
Cookie
is.
says GG. Cookie said GG, man. That's good to into that bad about hoisting. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying you hoisting like Asensio was like the only really good one was Ferrarius, but yeah, everyone else is okay, I guess. Vinny deserves some criticism. Oh yeah, I mean he
Yeah,
deserves some, but I still feel like the fans are very harsh on Vinny though. I still feel like Vinny should stay,
yeah.
but he probably
He
won't,
was,
to be
he
honest.
was he was actually good in this game.
He now has the most GAs for Real Madrid and finals for Real Madrid. Wow, even over Ronaldo. Wow, that's crazy. I
Yeah,
guess Ronaldo was top. It's not
probably.
that they can't work together, to be honest. It's just they both want to be that guy. Yeah, like that's why I say the egos. Like both Vinny and Mbappe have a very strong ego. You know, and like I said, it's very similar to what we saw at PSG, the Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe. Like while it looked amazing on paper, it was just they just couldn't all go together.
Yeah.
I don't want to waste my time on who Paris would pick because it's obvious low. Okay, who do you think Paris will sell? I think he's gonna sell Vinny.
Oh yeah. I mean, you spent what only having a year and a half, 2 years of Mbappe, like you know.
Yeah, imagine you bet you tried so hard in your life just to get Mbappe, and they're like, "Yeah, now we're gonna bet it."
What if they sell Mbappe and then like let's say they sell him this season, like this month, Real Madrid go on to win the Champions League. He has to be Mbappe has to be one of the unluckiest players in football.
Oh my
Even
jeez.
though even though technically he would win a medal.
Yeah, those two chances fell at the hands of the wrong players. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
let's be honest. They're not gonna sell Mbappe mid-season. Like if they're gonna sell, it'll be end of the season. So
or even don't sell. Yeah,
yeah, or don't sell. So yeah, I mean, to wrap things up, I guess. So for Barcelona, man, we win 3-2. We get revenge for the El Clasico defeat, and yeah, we had our injured players back in this game, and it really made the difference. Really, man. Like Juan Garcia played this game, Rafinha played this game. I think the last one we had Chesney play that game. I think we had. I don't think Rafinha was available, and I don't. I think yeah, those two players weren't available, and you saw how important those two players were in particular. So yeah, just to
yeah.
wrap things up for for Tenedine. So Tenedine, how do you think the seasons will end for both teams? Talk about which trophies. So Barcelona, we already won the Super Cup. So are we winning La Liga?
I mean, usually based on the history, it would assume so. I'll stick with like my original. Would I change it? Why not? I'll change it, even though. So I'll say Barca La Liga.
All right. And then do we win the Copa del Rey?
No, because Deportivo La Coruña will. Let's go.
Okay.
We're still in it. It will beat Atleti in 2 days on Tuesday. Champions League. I still think over 2 legs it'll be difficult for either to go on to win it, but I still feel like I still kind of trust Real Madrid to win it. I'll still stick with Real Madrid Champions League winners.
Ooh.
Even though, they weren't at their best today, but they could have also easily won this game as well.
Yeah. Okay, are you saying Real Madrid also win the Copa del Rey too?
No, because Depot will win it. You know what? One delusional take. Let me have that one.
Okay. Okay. Who did Deportivo beat in the final?
The Racing Club Santander.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
Why not?
And then the okay, I'm saying this right now. I don't think either Barca or Real win the Champions League.
My original Champions League prediction was Real Madrid Chelsea. Obviously, that was with the knowledge that Maresca was still there, but we'll see how things go. Obviously, my only other pick, I'll be honest, is Real Madrid Arsenal.
Right. Imagine Chelsea still make the final with that interim coach. Whoa. What was the coach name?
Yeah, Liam
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Otherwise, Newcastle, Budapest, just like 1969, we will be there.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean, I think for Barca Real Madrid, obviously this was a great El Clasico. I still don't think both teams are that great. But it was a good match at least, and it tended out. You're right. This was much better than the top 6 matches of Premier League. Most of the top 6
the
matches.
most recent one, Arsenal Liverpool.
Oh my.
The only talking point was the Martinelli push or whatever, and then we'll see when the Manchester derby happens next weekend and all that. So,
bro, that Manchester derby, that Manchester derby it's not going to be better than this.
Yeah, but maybe we might be proven wrong, and we'll love it.
We'll see, man. But yeah. Anyways, I think we're gonna wrap things up. So, guys, we're gonna have our AFCON, coverage. We're gonna talk about the AFCON on Tuesday. And we're gonna do this quarterfinals and semifinals predictions. All right, and then the Wednesday is both semifinals. I hate the fact that both semis are the same day. I don't really like that, but
oh well,
it is what it is. So, and then the final will be on Sunday, of course. We'll be back here next Sunday for the live reaction to the final. So we're coming here right after the final.
So. Yeah, I'll do a watch along as well on my channel for the final. Whoever it is, we'll see. I won't give my predictions.
Yeah, one thing for sure is that Deportivo will win the AFCON.
Let's go. And Newcastle will win the the Copa del Rey or whatever. Well, we could still actually win the Copa Cup, but oh well.
Yeah. Anyways, we're gonna wrap things up. And yeah, let's go ahead and read some final comments. How can we truly improve with all these injuries too? Yeah, that is true. Real Madrid get a lot of injuries throughout the season, but they still manage just a way to win. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Jenna, what? Why did you predict us to win the UCL?
Hey, last time I did, you won it, 2024.
Oh wow. So, Tanner, why do you predict this season? By the way, if you don't mind asking. I mean, if you don't mind me asking.
I just feel it's usually you can never write off Madrid. I don't know. Like even though I don't know, it feels like it'll be one of those seasons where Real Madrid might scam their way all the way to the final, something like that. Like they won't do pretty football, whatever. It'll be like usually how it is. You grind it out, and you end up making the final. As much as people don't like Real Madrid grinding it out.
Yeah. As I said, man, Champions when it comes to tournaments, guys, it's not about winning at style. It's just about win,
And
win.
Real Madrid could have won this game earlier today.
I
Had
like to
one
say
or
they have
two
more fair
chances.
teams. I guess that's a fair point. But anyways, we're gonna wrap things up, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Subscribe.